guys, how you doing? This is Manga Section. I'm here today to bring you a review for LOH Manga Chapter 4, which is actually the last chapter within the volume. So after I get through the review, I'm gonna have my little closing thoughts on the volume. But yeah, before I start, 4 chapters to a volume. Well, if you include chapter 0, I guess that's 5 chapters. Most volumes have like 7 to 8 chapters, but I guess the chapters were quite long within this, and it definitely felt like a longer read per chapter than I usually do spend on reading manga chapters. So I guess that kind of substitute for that. But anyway, let's just get into the review now. So with this chapter, I've been saying it for about for a while. So that Satoshi is he's got maybe not a villain, but he's got some evil within him that I've been saying that he's not the hero that that Serene thinks he is. And if you didn't believe me up until now, this chapter just basically gives it to you on a plate. Throughout the chapter, we see multiple characters expressing some sort of negative vibe towards him, be it fear, be it worry about him, that being wary of him, I should rather say, or just outright out to kill him. The only person that hasn't been unkind to him within this chapter is this king. And now that did make me wonder why. Why is he the only one that's showing him any sort of kindness for the chapter? So we start the chapter with Serene talking to the king. Again, that's where the whole chapter, throughout the whole chapter, the Satoshi Mata has been displayed. So we start off with the king, then we meet Kush Long, a new character who I think is going to be joining the main cast, and then so Rain and Satoshi go and visit this marketplace, and again this whole Satoshi problem is still building up there as things go along as well. I just want to mention though that Rain is actually not as clueless as I thought she was. She does, in fact, notice this whole Satoshi problem, and she's able to pin it down to the fact that Satoshi seems to be the only one of black hair. Now, that's what stated, so it's probably true, but I did notice that the king did have some black hair. So, maybe it's just, because it's not in cut, the manga's not in color, so maybe it's not black. But yeah, it's stated that Satoshi has black hair, and that might be the reason for discrimination. That could possibly be it, but I reckon it runs deeper than that. But I was surprised that Serene noticed anything at all. If it is a black hair thing, then I'd have some problems over there in Hyrokoyo. But yeah, that is something I know. She also noticed the restraints as well, so she is displaying some sort of level of intelligence of intelligence. So yeah, like I said, like throughout the chapter, this whole discrimination thing was being displayed. You couldn't purchase a sword. The merchant who was trying to purchase the sword off actually does outright state, "I don't serve or kind." Nothing much to go on there, but we know it's just discrimination fight for Satoshi within this chapter. As the chapter is ending, we have people who is outright trying to kill him, and now I gotta give it up for Satoshi because actually I don't have to give it up for him, but it is something that I noticed that he is displaying some villainous traits, but for some reason he does seem to really do care about Serene. So at least a positive for him. But like I was saying, at the end of the chapter, people are trying to kill him. Satoshi does tell Serene to run away, and she does start off running away, but she's trying to look on, similar to what she did a couple of chapters ago when she was trying to see Satoshi beat up the thugs. But in comes in Kushlong, and he leads her away. And now, if anything, Kushlong is the is the hero of this series. But in all honesty, I did notice that throughout this chapter, he was displaying some heroic traits. If we can say Satoshi is a villain, then Kushlon has been displaying heroic traits, because from he knew that Satoshi was in the area and that Serene has been interacting with him and still wants to interact with him. He's been trying to get her away from him. So that is something that I noticed. And we leave off on the cliffhanger of Satoshi still getting beat up and Kushlong trying to lead Serene away. Sorry. Not much of a cliffhanger, if I'm honest. I'm going to give this chapter a 3-star rating. Okay, so now for my end thoughts of the series, and I've jotted these down. And now it's not something that is necessarily always done in general, but I think it is a good way to build up your series. And now the first thing that I have put down here is no end game. And now what I mean by that is that I feel that within the first couple of episodes, or in this case manga chapters, the end game of the series should be outright outlined for the audience, and this hasn't been done for Legend of Hyrokoyo, unless I've missed it. Unless I've missed it, this hasn't been done. There is the whole thing with the dream, but I don't feel that that's going to be the end game of the series. And if that is the end game of the series, then it is possible that this whole series in general is not going to be that long. And the whole dream thing does build, I guess, leads on to the second point that I've made, which is not much character development for Serene. Now, it is important to build your characters, especially the main one. And I'm guessing that throughout the whole series, that so at the end of the day, Serene and Satoshi are the main two characters. But I reckon this is actually Serene's story, so she's number one. And so you build up your characters throughout the whole thing. Well, you should. You should build up your characters throughout the whole thing. But I think it's most important to start with your main character. And I don't feel like Serene has been built up in any shape or form within this first volume. We we know about the dream that she's been having for a long time. We don't know exactly how long, but we've told this a long time. And we know that she wants to stop this dream from coming true. But why? If she thinks it's a dream, then why is she so adamant about changing it? And that's my main concern. And I feel like, yeah, that we should have built on her more. On the other hand, we have Satoshi, who is probably the most interesting character who's been introduced so far, and that's probably because we've got the most build up on him. We know that on one side of things, he's seen as a hero. Obviously, that's Sorean's way of thinking. But we know through stuff that's been hinted and stuff that we have seen and stuff that I'm speculating that he's not all good. There is some evil within him, and yeah, like I said, he's probably the most interesting character that's been introduced so far. And the final thing that I've written down here is that I don't feel like it is left on a strong enough cliffhanger for a first volume. Now, when I was writing this, I thought to myself, yeah, for manga, every volume should leave off on a cliffhanger for those reasons. People would want to pick up the next volume. I don't think that has to be the case. In some cases, you won't be able to finish off on a cliffhanger, but I reckon for the first couple of volumes, you should really end off on a strong cliffhanger as possible, obviously to drag in your audience to further read. This, for me personally, doesn't leave off in a strong enough cliffhanger. And if someone was to hold a gun to me, well, okay, let's not make it that issue. If someone was to ask me, okay, you've read volume one, continue to read on, or don't read no more, I'd say don't read no more because it hasn't hooked me enough as a audience member. Not to say that this is bad or anything. I'm just saying that the hook factor is not big enough, and this is just volume one. I think it's really important. You got to attack strong in order to keep your audience, and this isn't keeping me. It hasn't got me hooked yet. I'm gonna leave it at that. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.